Burial across the border, but chasing his dreams. Fields and forward, all they see. Texas bound with the tech lights gleam. Now a knife collector, budget's the theme. He loves to shine those vintage pine. Sharp as his journey, clear his mind. Crafted with care, decades unwind in Mario's.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Let's go to work. And my poor window motor things are like on a fritz. Not on a fritz, but you know, they're slow to come up. Safety first, y'all. Put your seatbelt on. It's Friday. We're flat billing. Got the Miami Hurricanes hat on. We got the Miami Hurricanes shirt, polo shirt on, because that's what we like. That's just what we do. And why are my... Oh, there we go. I was like, why are all my lights on? But anyway, I almost came on. I've been watching new channel out in the... Hello? Okay, I'm tired of my lights. Been watching a new channel out here in Central Texas, out in the hill country, a little bit south of Austin where I'm at. Native Steve. Been enjoying his channel. Kind of reminded me of myself about a year ago, starting up, you know, collecting and stuff, the excitement, you know, how people are so welcoming into the knife community, the knife brotherhood. But yeah, shout out Steve. I gotta hit you up on email, brother. He's been getting some awesome mail calls from some brothers across, you know, the United States, from the knife community, just, you know, welcoming him into the community and all that good stuff. So I'm definitely gonna be putting together a little bit of a care package. Like I said on my last video, I need to be less selfish with my knives and be more giving, you know. Put my windows up because we're about to hit the highway for a little bit. And traffic is crazy. People heading into Austin to go to work and stuff. So, but yeah, I'm gonna be hitting up Steve to send him a few things. Nothing crazy, you know. Y'all know me. I'm always I'm collecting on a budget. So, but I have accumulated some knives from giveaways and all kinds of stuff. Brother Milo says that I'm Lucky Mario, the luckiest guy in the knife community or something like that. I don't know. Everybody has some kind of comment about me winning giveaways, and the way that I put it is like, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want a knife, because I always win one. I may not always have the funds to go grab a new knife every week. I mean, some people it seems like, you know, and I get it. Some people are capable of doing it. You know, get a new knife every week or a couple of knives during the week to show off. I can't do that. I have priorities, and although yes, I do enjoy the hobby and the brotherhood of collecting knives and everything, I just don't do that. I have a certain allotment, every month. And even sometimes I end up using, like this month, I got paid this last week of the month, and what I thought was like, okay, I can look at some knives and all this other stuff. We ended up having some stuff, go down in the house. So we ended up being out a little bit more than what we thought. I think it was like $250 or something like that. Our dryer went out, so I had to get the whole, what do you call it? The heater core, whatever you call it, for the laundry dryer, and replaced it myself. Thank you, Google. But yeah, we have a dryer back up. The dryer vent was pretty clogged last week, and me trying to save money, ended up going on Amazon and getting the brush, with the extensions and everything, and ended up getting the brush stuck up on the dryer vent. So yeah, ended up, what I should have done, should have called the company in to come with their industrial, brushes and vacuums and all that other stuff, and just clean it up and be done with it, instead of making more work for myself and essentially wasting money. But you live and you learn. Sometimes you can save yourself some money by doing it yourself. Sometimes you end up making more work. Dude, I went up on the roof. I did all these things, trying to get that vent cleaned out, because we needed to do laundry last week. And first of all, this Mexican ain't made for roofing, because I was shaking in my tennis shoes up there for sure. But yeah, it was a little crazy. Anyway, the reason for the video, I was talking to the guys yesterday, the fellas, Mike, Little Mike, Bubba, Nate, Jim, James, all these other guys in the group. So yesterday I put out a short about my carry this week, and I had it scheduled to go out, I think yesterday, like at 5 in the morning or something like that. And I get a notification that there's a comment on it. And as you guys know, I've been a lot lately, I've been more and more into, like, traditional pocket knives, although I did start in the modern side of things, and I do still have a lot of moderns, but I just don't, I usually carry a modern, but it's one, and then I'll carry 2 traditionals. Well, if you go back to that video, to that short from yesterday, it's pretty much all traditionals. I have my Buck 110. I have my Opinel number 6 carbon that I got from Jim, Hunting Fishing Train, for his giveaway a few weeks back. And what else did I have? Oh, my Gerber Easy Out. So all, traditional or vintage knives. I had my Zippo, all this other stuff. So I kind of did a quick pocket dump of what I've been carrying this week. Well, the first comment is from somebody, not a subscriber, because I've never seen them comment before. And their comment was like, you go, so pretty much the Cornball starter kit, is what you're carrying. And I was like, Cornball? Like, I've never heard Cornball before, right? So I go to Google, and I'm like, Cornball / slang / whatever. Well, I find out and figure out, and of course, there's a lot of different meanings, but the one that stood out, and I was like, okay, I got you, kid. And I don't know it, and I'll tell you here in a little bit. It was hilarious because I was like, okay, so cornball essentially means refers to somebody that's old-fashioned, antique, or trying to be hip right now in the current modern day, but you're not hip, you're old. And I'm like, okay, that's pretty much who I am. And there's nothing. Yeah, that's who I am. People honking all over the place because people don't know how to drive. There's I'm turning left, and the people, yeah, now you missed it, little girl. The right turn is a red light, but they could have turned after a full stop, and they didn't, and now all the traffic coming through, so they can't go anymore. Typical. I think I was listening to Brian from Brian's Knives yesterday, and he was talking about people that shouldn't have a driver's license. There's a lot of those here in Austin, a lot. But essentially, going back to the thing, it's like, guys, I got called a cornball, and I guess they thought, cornball meant like white or something like that. But then last night I get home from work, and obviously it's all related to slang right now in mid 2020s. So just to test my kids out, I asked, first I go and ask my daughter Isabella, who's starting college, and I said, hey, when you refer to somebody as cornball, I said, what does that mean? And she looks at me all puzzled, and she's like, I don't know, Dad. Like, what does it mean? I don't know. And I was like, okay, that's all I needed to know. I was like, you don't know what that means. So then I go to my second daughter, Natalia. I said, Tally, when you refer to somebody as a cornball, what does that mean? And she's like that. She goes, I don't know, a ball of corn, like being very forward about, what it means. And I was like, yeah, I said, it does. I mean, yeah, duh, a ball of corn. I said, but as if you were referring to somebody. She goes, I don't know what that means. I was like, okay. Then I went to my son, Mario, which is a year younger than Natalia. And I said, he's in 9th grade. He said, Mario, if you were to call somebody a cornball, what does that mean? He goes, I don't know, Dad. I guess somebody that likes corn, something. I don't know. I was like, okay. So then Zeke's sitting there watching TV or something. I don't know. And I said, Zeke, if you were to refer to somebody as cornball, what does that mean? He looks at me. He goes, well, like you, Dad. You're old. And I was like, brother, some kid that's like in 6th grade, 7th grade is ending up, commenting on my video, that I'm a cornball. Because nobody else of my kids knew what that meant except for Zeke. And he's in 6th grade. So when I was telling the guys, I said, according to Zeke, this is what cornball means. So everybody, Jim's like, well, I guess I'm a cornball. And they're like, well, yeah, I'm a cornball too. So the question today, are you a cornball? Are you old-fashioned? Do you carry traditional knives? I mean, according to my kids, I act like a kid sometimes, but I'm old. And like in my mind, I still think that I'm, a teenager and I can do all these things. And then I try to get out of my bed and my back hurts really, really bad in the mornings, or, after trying to clear that dryer vent, yeah, after a few hours of plunging that stupid brush up and down, that night I was sore, or the next morning I was so sore, and I'm like, dude, what did I do? And I was like, oh, okay, that's what I did. I said, man, I need to do some more manual labor, you know? So, um, anyway, let me, I have about another probably 10, 15 minutes to get to work. Let me get to work, and then we'll talk from the parking lot. I'll be right back, y'all. Bye. All right, we're back. But yeah, so I guess the question for this Friday is, are you a cornball? Because apparently I am. I mean, you guys have seen it this week. This month, I've been doing weekly carries. Gerber Easy Out, half serrated. I think this one's called the Skeleton, if I'm not mistaken. A little bit of a detent half stop there. Little vintage modern. They do still make those. They are made in the USA. I think they're like 30, 40 bucks on the Gerber website. Hey, the train's coming. It doesn't blow the horn though, because we don't have a railroad crossing across. My little pouch with all my goodies. You guys have seen it. Flashlight, pocket cross, lip balm, all that good stuff. Got my 1999 Zippo. Still. 99 Zippo. That one was my a gift, Christmas present from my oldest daughter. Shout out to my daughter, Isabella. Today is her 18th birthday. 18 years ago, she made me a daddy. This little leather pouch. It's called Valhalla. I don't know. You see it there. Valhalla gear. Valhalla. Little leather pouch. Got my Buck 110. Taking a nice colorful patina there on the bolsters. What else do I have? Oh yeah, we were talking last night about forced patinas on carbon steel knives, and I know I do use mine for food. This one I've been using for food, but Mike from is it Mike Simple Life or Mike's Life? He's got 2 channels. We were talking about that, but I did take a little bit of vinegar yesterday, and I patinaed this one up a little bit. I do use it for pretty much my food and stuff. This one is the one that I got on Jim's giveaway, Hunting, Fishing, Praying. I'll tag him down in the description. Go check out his channel. So many cool channels out there, y'all. Is that all I have? That's all I have. I mean, my keys. Shout out Steve and Jeffrey. That one goes with me every day, pretty much every day, when I drive the van. Got my wallet that I made. It's all, yeah, it's used. You can see the, I guess you could call the leather patina too. It's got scratches and all kinds of stuff. What else do I have? I have my work phone. I have 2 phones. I don't like being bothered on the weekends, so I turn my work phone off. Got my red bandana. Not affiliated or anything like that with anybody. It's just the one that I grabbed this week. Yeah, that's pretty much what the conversation is about. So I'd like to hear what you guys think about that comment. And it's funny because my reply to that comment was, yeah, you know, as cornball as your grandma. And I pinned his comment on that short, which I'm probably talking to some kid that's my son's age, probably 6th grade, 7th grade. That's my guess, because none of my other kids knew that term or that the term or the meaning of what this person meant. But yeah, I hope you guys are having had a great week. It is Friday, thank goodness. TGIF. I was telling the boys yesterday that after talking to my wife and making plans for the Ellaville knife show, I found out, and I knew that my wife's grandma lived in Georgia. I didn't know where she lived in Georgia, because I've never been. But apparently, she lives about an hour and a half from Ellaville. So I might be heading over there. It's her grandma, and then her my wife's uncle and aunt live on the property. They live on an old tobacco farm. My wife's great grandpa was a tobacco farmer there in Georgia. So yeah, my wife's grandparents on her mom's side are, which I don't know how they did it back in the day. He was Mexican and she was white. So props to them, because I know that they grew up and lived in crazy times. But yeah, so it's on the schedule. November, Ellaville. I pray and hope that I can make it. And I can get to meet a lot of people over there. I would love, if I don't buy one knife, I'd be a happy camper. If I can get to meet Bubba and Mike and Nate and Kevin and Jim and everybody. Not just them. There's so many people I know are going over there. But that's the plan. I hope you guys have a great weekend. We'll see you on the next video. But yeah, put it down in the description. Not the description. What am I talking about? I'm no YouTuber. Put it down in the comments. Are you a cornball? Apparently I am. Be the light, y'all. God bless.